Thank you so much, Archbishop Gustavo, for sharing your time with us. For those of you who still have questions for us, he's going to hang out with us for a little bit longer, so feel free to hang out and talk to him, tell him thank you, that kind of stuff. In closing, just wanted to give a special thanks to our dinner speaker, Archbishop Gustavo, our host, Our Lady of Grace Catholic Church. We thank our board of directors, YCP national staff, San Antonio volunteers, and our chaplain, Father Jonathan Felix. We also thank our sponsors and kind donors, Kevin Bartholomew, President of Benny Keith Beverages, and Richard Moreno, General Manager of Guadalupe Radio 89.7. Yeah! Radio for your soul. Special shout out also to Catholic Charities and the Pilgrim Center of Hope for being here as well to have the table at our event. Also another special shout out to the donor of your beer tonight. You want to give a shout out? Where is it? Yes, there he is. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, and here we are. So in closing, it's funny, 2 years ago, I was here, actually for the first time on September 6, 2016. Marty West was the speaker. That was the first time I had actually taken the mic, and it's my last time now today. So Archbishop Gustavo, we got to kind of see it all through. So what's next? I don't know. Take a nap. Take a long nap. I've had a couple people give me some ideas. One being my wonderful mother, who was pouring in wonderful ideas. I'm like, Mom, let me just get through this event. By the way, special shout out to my family. Wonderful women out here. And Grace is back there. So, they came out to the event. Some of you have heard me tell the story whenever I was considering becoming president, and I got phone calls from everybody, even my grandma was the last one. So, yeah, here we are. So thank you for being here, Grandma. Leadership, volunteers, board members, speakers, panelists. I mean, there's especially leadership and volunteers. I mean, there's so much work that y'all don't even know about that kind of goes into this. You know, it's funny. Sometimes there'll be some events where I take the mic and I feel like, oh, I'm just kind of the guy that put the mic from, and they kind of handle like so much work, and I just kind of sit here and bumble on and just kind of pass the mic to the next speaker, basically. They've done so much work, and you know, I always have people come up and say, great event, Mark, but really, the leadership and the volunteers and the board members, I mean, they put in so much hard work, effort, passion that often goes unrecognized. So at this time, if I could just have anybody who's been a leader, either right now, currently, or in the past, board member, speaker, volunteer, please stand, be recognized. Thank you, everybody. So, all of you, thank you for continuing to come to these events. It's been a fun 2 years, 2+ years, so it's been a fun ride. I really appreciate all the support in and out of these events, obviously, because you know a lot of us are involved in things outside of YCP. So thank you for your constant encouragement, support, everything else. St. Joseph's Worker. Yes. Been a huge help. So. In closing, you know, I can, there's so much I want to say. I mean, I've as the chapter president, you know, we're responsible for vetting a lot of these speakers before they even come up here months ahead of time, and you know, make sure that they're qualified, make sure that they're able. So a lot of times you guys get them for 20 minutes. Myself, I get them for a lot longer. I get to pick their brains and learn so much about them. And I guess if there's any one thing I can share that I've learned from a lot of these people is that, you know, as professionals, you know, we're always constantly on that grind to kind of build ourselves professionally and build your career and be able to support those around you. And that's so important, to be able to really just hustle and get out there and, you know, hit the streets and really grind and just put some effort into your passion and be there. But to that end, if your career, if your profession, if all your work is here, then you need to elevate your spiritual level way above that. That's the one most important takeaway I had from all this. So, in adoration the other day with Millie, I got to, I don't know, just kind of spend some time in prayer and just pull my phone out and start writing a couple things. And seeing as how y'all are a captive audience, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and share with y'all what I wrote, and then we'll go ahead and welcome the new president. So, Mom wants to say something.
This is very, very brief that I just want to share with you. When Mario was, I think, in kindergarten, this is what he wrote. When I grow up, I want to be a good man. And then at confirmation, he told Archbishop, he goes, I want to be just like you. I just had to share.
There's a bet going on, right? There's got to be a bet going on that's going to happen. So anyways, back to having a captive audience. Just, these are the words written down in adoration, and then we'll introduce the new president. So, 2 years. Wow, it's been 2 years. His strength has buried all my fears. To all of you, I raise my glass and say cheers. It's an honor to call all of you my peers. You all have that very special thing, that stuff that comes from the one true King. Comets and missions, I'm still chasing a ring. And I was blessed enough to meet my lady. I look around and say, wow, I'm not even supposed to be here right now. I'm stumped. I look down and ask how. I remember crying out, Master, I want to see. Who am I supposed to be? Then Jesus came in and gave me the key. Opened the door to this journey called YCP. I'm unsure. I'm unsure. President? Me? Why? Look at me. I'm just an ordinary guy. Just an ordinary guy trying to get by. Just an ordinary guy looking up at the sky. Remembering why Jesus had to die. Do it or not, there is no try. We did it together! Today is my final day. Thank you for helping along the way. There's still work to be done. Continue to pray. Keep on hustling, but make time to pray. When it's all over, your soul is worth more than your resume. You know what Archbishop has got to say. Viva Cristo Rey! Thank you, everybody. God bless all of you. And introducing your next president of YCP San Antonio, Denise Espinoza.
It's a lot different when you're a lector at church. It's already up there. First of all, I wanted to say thank you, Mario, for your kind introduction. That was a very exciting introduction. It's the first of the kind for me. Anyway, I know that you've heard me say this plenty of times, but your joy for God is something that truly transcends into the hearts of everyone that you encounter. And I believe that that really, truly is a part of what Pope Emeritus would say is called the new evangelization. I've never seen anybody come and talk to you without them leaving with a smile. I'm going to cry. I don't want to cry. It's so exciting. You see, when you're part of the YCP family, your brothers and sisters in Christ, I want you to know that we treasure you, that we love you, and everything that you've done for us is greatly appreciated. And we expect you to be here every Tuesday, every month. We're looking for volunteers. I know Virginia. For those of you that don't know me or know me, for most of you, you don't really know my name, but you know that I'm a life runner, and I'm cool with that. But for all formalities, my name is Denise Espinoza, and I'm incredibly grateful to be here with you today and have the opportunity to serve God in this capacity through young Catholic professionals. You see, to me, it's not serving God, it's loving God back. It's giving him back everything that he's given me so freely. Every day he loves me and he surrenders everything he has at my disposal, and today I get the incredible opportunity to start loving him back. If you know me, then you know that God doesn't play a part in my life. He isn't just my Sunday Mass or my Tuesdays at YCP, but he is and always will be the heartbeat that keeps me moving. He is my life, and I strive to live for him on a daily basis in everything that I do. Before coming to San Antonio, I worked for the Diocese of Brownsville as an associate campus minister for the Office for Youth and Young Adults. Indeed, working for the diocese, I could say that they were the best years of my life. I got to see young men that were discerning, be ordained, and be a part of their welcoming into the church. I got to see young adults get baptized and receive their confirmation. I got to see so many different gifts that the church has to offer and so many resources that I couldn't help but think, what am I going to do next? Fast forward a few years, I'm here in San Antonio. I study at Galen College of Nursing, and before I know it, I no longer have a chapel right next to my office. I no longer have coworkers who want to pray. I find myself in an office where everybody is an atheist, nobody is Catholic, there are no Christians, and yet every Friday, without a doubt, I wear my YCP t-shirt, and I call it YCP Fridays, and I wear my Remember the Unborn jacket all the time. I'm trying not to lose myself here. But without a doubt, on the weekends, on their difficult days, I do get a text and I do get a phone call that says, Denise, somebody is passing away at the hospital. We need you to pray. We need you to light a candle at church and pray for them. I find it interesting and I love it at the same time, because in those moments, even though they don't believe in God and they consider themselves atheists, they see our witness at work. I pray every day. I have my St. Joseph the Worker prayer right above my desk, and I pray every single day. Not a day goes by where I don't pray it. Pretty much know it by memory. We should all know it by memory. But I find it interesting that they see my faith at work, and that in these difficult moments, they still text me to pray for them. And I do. I go to church, I rush, and I light a candle. But my love for God doesn't stop there. No, it really doesn't ever actually stop. I think my parents and my brother wish it did. But I don't think I can ever stop it. It's a flame that I think whenever I was 19, I had my conversion, and I fell in love with God, and my life has never been the same. He's the reason I wake up. He is the reason I go to bed. He is my joy. He is everything. And so I don't want to just strive for sainthood in my personal life or in my work life. I want to change the world, and I want to change it for God, and I want to love everybody that I encounter. You see, how many of you guys want to change the world and leave it a better place for you, for your children, for your family, for all of society, but most importantly for the glory of God? Raise your hands. I want you to look around at how many people are raising their hands. And that right there is the very reason that I come to YCP. Because I want to make an impact in the world, but I know that I can't do it alone. I want to connect with other young Catholic professionals and make the world a better place. I want us to work together so that we can better serve the Archdiocese and the city of San Antonio. I want to feed the poor, be a voice for the immigrant, be a voice for the unborn, the single mother. I want to be there for everybody. You see, I think it was St. Therese who they asked at one point, do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a saint? Do you want to be a martyr? And her response was, I want to be it all, and so do I. And I think our God is a God who is limitless, who is abounding, and I'm ready to do this, but I can't do it alone. I need all of you to do this with me. I hope that this year we can make a bigger impact together for the city of St. Anthony, and I can only do it with your help. I'm not going to ask the leaders to stand once more because they already did, and so if you didn't memorize their faces, memorize them. But I want to give you guys the resources that you need to do that. And with organizations like the Pilgrim Center of Hope, I believe they have a table out here somewhere. There you go. You can talk to Danny. She can connect you. I've been to all of their conferences for the women that have been here about 8 years. I've only ever missed one conference. And through the diocese, we have the assembly coming up. If you've never been to the assembly, that is an amazing event. If you want to enrich your faith, that's where you need to be. We have Catholic radio. If you ever have questions about your faith, apologetics. Richard's your guy. He's always my guy. I email him all the time or text him. Father Jonathan's here too. You know, he's pretty awesome, but we're all together. But like I said, I can't do this alone. I want to provide for you guys better networking events, vibrant panel discussions. In the spring, we will have a panel discussion where we're going to bring all the mentors and spiritual directors, so those of you that are members can meet them. And the retreat that we have in December, speakers like Archbishop Gustavo. But moving forward, like I said, I can't do this alone. We have to do this together. And I wrote down something that Archbishop Gustavo said probably about 2 years ago at Theology on Tap. So I'm going to leave you with 3 easy steps. He said, first, we have to pray. We have to remember that we are merely vessels and God is leading us. The second, we have to have dialogue. We have to talk amongst each other about how we can better serve our diocese in the city of St. Anthony. And the third, we have to take action. It's not enough to pray. It's not enough to talk about it. We have to take action. Lastly, I'm here to serve you. If there's anything that you need, call me, text me, email me. I respond super fast. And I'm here to pray for you. And actually, don't forget to sign in. I pray for all of you by name. For the past 2 months, I get the sign-in sheets. I pull out the sign-in sheets, print them out, and I pray for all of you that have signed in. And when I mean every day, I mean every day. And I ask you to just pray for me moving forward. Anything that you need, again, I am here to serve you. Thank you.